is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature, but what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with the seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
How many officers is it?
How many officers is what?
On security detail.
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So,
but if it's in your CBA.
It is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying I cannot have a security detail, and I won. The judge said I can't have a security detail because it's already in the CBA.
What will they say? Like for instance, City of New Orleans has a policy that city officials don't fly first class.
Okay.
Do you have that?
We do not.
Do you believe you should have a policy? Because again, the critics are that you're flying first class, that you're staying in four-season hotels, high-dollar hotels, having what they call extravagant dinners, and those are your critics. Are you as a city official, in order to make sure that you'll be on reproach, looking at establishing a city policy in terms of how money is spent when traveling?
This is the way I feel about it. People will talk about anybody because they're not doing the work. They only talk about the people that's at the top, the ones that are doing the work.
Tiffany's got everyone talking, and it's not just about her role as the mayor of Dalton, she's also in the hot seat as the supervisor of Thornton Township. But now, the FBI is poking around, claiming she's been playing fast and loose with the town's money. Tiffany's not taking it lying down, though she's saying it's all a setup, a big lie cooked up by someone with a grudge. But hold on, because we've got the inside scoop, and trust me, this story has more twists than a roller coaster at an amusement park. Let's dig deep into Tiffany's world and see what's really going on. You might think being mayor is Tiffany's only gig, but think again. This lady's got a side hustle that's turning heads, and when you hear how much she's pulling in, you might just drop your jaw. Tiffany Henyard isn't just holding down the fort in Dalton as mayor, she's also juggling the responsibilities of being the supervisor in Thornton Township. That's right, two high-powered roles for one ambitious woman. But with great power comes great responsibility, and some folks are saying she's got too much on her plate, stirring up more drama than the latest season finale of your favorite reality show. So, what's the big deal with these two jobs? As mayor of Dalton, Tiffany is all about keeping the town running smoothly, everything from fixing sidewalks to making sure the trash gets picked up. But that's just one side of the coin. When she puts on her supervisor hat, she's all about helping the people, trying to be a superhero of sorts. Need help with your electric bill? Tiffany's got you. Can't afford a funeral? Tiffany's there with her checkbook. It's like she's running her own personal charity, but here's where it gets sticky, she's doing it with the town's money. All these generous acts come with a hefty price tag, and Tiffany is raking in over $200,000 a year from these two jobs combined. That's more than some people in Dalton see in 5 years, so it's no wonder folks are starting to give her the side eye. But the drama doesn't stop there. Some people are saying Tiffany's got too much power, too many jobs, and not enough time to do either one right. But Tiffany, she's not backing down. Let's rewind a bit. Before Tiffany took the mayor's seat in 2021, Dalton was known for its strong sense of community, with festivals, parades, and all the small-town charm you could ask for. Now, it seems like the spotlight is always on Tiffany, and not everyone is happy about it. People started questioning Tiffany's leadership pretty early on, especially after she set up her own breast cancer charity. It sounds noble, right? Well, it would be if she wasn't using taxpayer money to do it. That's right, Tiffany's idea of charity seems to involve other people's cash. But hey, doesn't it take money to run a charity? Still, there's definitely more to this story. While Tiffany is out here doing double duty, Dalton's financial situation is looking grim. We're talking about a deficit of over $2 million now. That's a lot of zeros that just don't add up. So what does Tiffany have to say about all this? She's sticking to her story, claiming that both her roles are legitimate and necessary. But with all this heat coming her way, you've got to wonder, is she really serving the people, or is she just serving herself? This story is definitely taking a turn, and it's different from what we were hearing last week when Tiffany's drama was just local gossip. Now the feds are in town, and they're not just passing through, they're digging up dirt, trying to end Tiffany's career. But why is the FBI so interested in a small-town mayor? It turns out it's not just the locals who are suspicious. The FBI's been watching Tiffany too, and they're not playing around. They've been questioning people left and right, trying to figure out if Tiffany's been dipping her hand in the cookie jar, if you know what I mean. But here's the tea, the feds aren't just asking questions, they've gone high-tech on Tiffany. They're using some fancy electronic surveillance to track her spending, and it sounds like something straight out of a spy movie. But this isn't Hollywood, this is real life, and Tiffany is the star of this drama. And it's not just about the money either. The FBI is looking into everything: Tiffany's charity, her political fund, even her personal business. They're leaving no stone unturned, trying to figure out if there's more to Tiffany's financial dealings than meets the eye. But wait, it gets even juicier. Remember Tiffany's right-hand man, Keith Freeman? Well, he's in hot water too. He's been charged with bankruptcy fraud, and now he's spilling the tea to investigators. Tiffany, meanwhile, is trying to play it cool. She's saying all this scrutiny is just because people have been making threats against her. But with the FBI all over her business, you've got to wonder how long can she keep up this act.
What is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature, but what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with the seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
How many officers is it?
How many officers is what?
On security detail.
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So,
But if it's in your CBA.
it is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying I cannot have a security detail. And I won. The judge said I can't have a security detail because it's already in a CBA.
Is there more to the story than meets the eye? It's not just the recent controversies that have put Mayor Tiffany under scrutiny. The FBI has been talking to local business owners and former employees who allege she's been using aggressive tactics against those who don't support her financially or politically. While Tiffany maintains her innocence, her credit card statements suggest otherwise. Despite Dalton facing a $2 million deficit, Mayor Tiffany appears to be living a lavish lifestyle funded by taxpayers. Records show extensive spending on first-class flights, luxury hotels, and expensive dinners, far exceeding what one might consider reasonable for a small-town mayor. These aren't isolated incidents but part of a pattern of excessive spending that's been ongoing for some time. The allegations don't stop at official expenses. There's mounting evidence that Tiffany has been using township credit cards for personal purchases, treating public funds as her private bank account. This misuse of taxpayer money raises serious ethical and legal questions about her conduct in office. Adding to the controversy are numerous billboards that have recently appeared all over town, prominently featuring Tiffany's image. Rather than promoting community events or public initiatives, these advertisements seem solely focused on boosting her personal profile. Funding for these billboards has also come from public coffers, which is not only inappropriate but potentially illegal, as state laws prohibit the use of public funds for personal promotion. The combination of extravagant personal spending and self-promotional activities at the taxpayer's expense paints a troubling picture of mismanagement and abuse of power. As investigations continue, the residents of Dalton are left questioning the integrity of their leadership and the proper use of their hard-earned tax dollars. The unfolding situation underscores the need for transparency and accountability in public office. Dalton's citizens deserve leaders who prioritize the community's welfare over personal gain and adhere strictly to ethical standards. The coming weeks will likely shed more light on these serious allegations and their implications for the town's future.
What they say, like for instance, City of New Orleans has a policy that city officials don't fly first class.
Okay.
Do you have that?
We do not.
Do you believe you should have a policy? Because again, the critics are that you're flying first class, that you're staying in four-season hotels, high-dollar hotels, having what they call extravagant dinners, and those are your critics. Are you as a city official, in order to make sure that you'll be on reproach, looking at establishing a city policy in terms of how money is spent when traveling?
This is the way I feel about it. People will talk about anybody because they're not doing the work. They only talk about the people that's at the top, the ones that are doing the work.
Tiffany forgot, y'all, that she should be serving others rather than herself. People, and Dawson is having financial difficulties making ends meet. She's out here living like a celebrity with first-class flights, luxury hotels and restaurants, billboards showing up on her face everywhere. It is a long cry from the daily reality she presents elsewhere. You know what's really got folks talking about? It's a far cry from the daily realities of the people she is supposed to be presenting and advocating. It's about her non-activity as much as the money she is squandering. Dalton has some actual issues that need addressed, but Tiffany seems more preoccupied with her own appearance and comfort than Dalton does. Why I'm all for giving people the benefit of the doubt, but when you're wrong, and when you're right, you're right. We just need some more evidence to show if Tiffany's actually in the right, because some folks are saying that Tiffany's lost touch with reality. They're wondering how she can justify all this spending when the town's finances are in such a bad shape. It's like she's living in a different world where money is growing on trees, and there's just no such thing as a budget. But Tiffany is still not backing down and claiming her innocence. She's sticking to her gun, saying that everything she's done is above board, but the FBI sniffing around and all these allegations flying. You've got to wonder, will it prove that she's as innocent as she claims? Because people are starting to connect the dots between Tiffany's spending and Dalton's money troubles, and they're asking tough questions about where the town's money is really going. Is it being used to fix the roads and fund schools, or is it financing billboards and this jet-setting lifestyle we got to be in the town, to run the town? And it's not just about the money she's spending on herself. Remember that breast cancer charity that she had set up turns out that's using taxpayer money too, and it's got folks wondering, is Tiffany really trying to help people, or is she just trying to make herself look good now? Like I said, Tiffany's got her dukes up, she's fighting back, and she's got some explanations for all this mess. Ever heard of a May needing 24/7 bodyguards? Well, Tiffany says she does. You won't believe why Tiffany Henyard is hitting hard at all these accusations. She's saying she's innocent and that this whole thing is just one big setup. She's claiming that she's the victim in all this drama. Now, I've heard of the government framing people, but let's hear her out. Let's talk about that security detail that's got everybody talking. Tiffany stating that this has nothing to do with her behavior at all. No, she is asserting, in her words, everything is political. The lawsuits, the allegations, this entire FBI probe, all of which point just as a means of getting her expelled from office in line with a conspiracy. Is she therefore truly the objective of some master plan, or is this merely a means of avoiding accountability for who the justice talents are influencing? Not to overlook all those opulent hotels and exotic vacations. Tiffany also offers a justification for that. She was quick to defend herself when others began discussing her first-class flights and five-star stays, contending that it's a vital aspect of being mayor. Tiffany is currently also handling a lot of litigation from past workers, but guess what she is saying? Tiffany sees those as more attacks from her rivals, so these are not wrong staff members, rather, they are pieces in this great game meant to bring her down. You all thought, though, that Tiffany was the only one under investigation. Think twice, because her former BTI now center staging all this drama as well. Keith Freeman has a lot to say regarding the bankruptcy fraud charges hovering over his head. Let us discuss Freeman, as he chose to play ball with the FBI, but is he speaking the truth to save his own skin, or otherwise? Tiffany's right-hand man, Keith Freeman, used to be her go-to for everything, but today he's singing like a canary to the eye, and what he's saying might expose this entire case open. Freeman allegedly committed bankruptcy fraud. Although that is a pretty severe matter, he has chosen to assist the investigators rather than remain silent. And guess what? He's spewing all the tea about Tiffany's expenditure patterns. If Freeman is talking to the FBI, you know he has some stuff to tell, and get this, he has been with Tiffany since she became M and was there for all those fancy vacations and expensive dinners noted. Tiffany's lawyers cite Freeman as part of their case. They claim Tiffany had to rely on Freeman to make all the money decisions since she was fresh to the whole mayor business. Here's where it gets interesting. They seem to be trying to present T as the naive rookie who fell prey to Keith Freeman without knowing any better. Freeman is working with the FBI. He is not going to drop that slope. For Tiffany, it most certainly represents negative news. Tiffany could be in great danger if Freeman knows where all the financial skeletons are buried. Some people claim Tiffany is using Freeman as a scapegoat, throw her under the bus to save herself, but is it really going to work? For all the major spinning decisions, Freeman was right there with Tiffany. Tiffany might not be able to play that innocent guard going forward if he begins providing the FBI with all he knows. Though Freeman's saying it's not about all the money, he may provide light on how Tiffany's been handling things in Dalton too. It will absolutely be his word against hers though, and that gives you a 50% chance if there is little evidence. Did she know exactly what was happening with the town's finances, or was she truly as detached as she says? She most certainly had to sign some paperwork. Either way, one thing is for sure and two things are certain. Some people think this entire situation is a part of a larger political game. Like maybe Freeman's being used as a pawn to bring Tiffany down, while others say justice finally is catching up to both of them. Let's discuss the elephant in the room, or should I say the missing millions of dollars. Keith Freeman's involvement in this drama is far from over. His cooperation with the FBI could be the key to unlocking the truth about what's really going on in Dalton, and for Tiffany, well, she could be realizing that her former right-hand man could end up being her biggest problem now. Tiffany says she's been showering Dalton with cash, but the town wallet seems drier than it has ever been. Where is the money? Tiffany Henyard has been boasting about bringing in some significant money for Dalton. We are talking big bucks here, exactly $15 million. That is a lot of zeros to discuss, but is Tiffany really bringing in all this money? If so, why is Dalton still suffering? Now let's dissect it. Tiffany's out here stating she's the moneymaker, she's the one delivering bacon for the neighborhood. She's telling everyone who would pay attention that she has the magic touch when it comes to funding, but it doesn't stack up as Tiffany is discussing all the money she is generating. Dalton is in the red with a $2 million shortfall for the town. And not just a bit. Even in the town we are discussing, a hole so large you could run a truck through $2 million is still a lot of money. How then does all this work? Tiffany claims she is bringing in millions of dollars, but the town's bank account shows something entirely different. Tiffany's got an explanation for this too. She is pointing fingers at the trustees again, stating they are the ones who have screwed things up. Thus, according to Tiffany, she is bringing in the money, but the trustees aren't paying the bills. What's really going on, Dalton? Dalton struggles to make ends meet while Tiffany's living, but it's not only about the spending. People are starting to ask about where all this money Tiffany claims to be bringing in is really going. It's also about helping the community. Is it even really being brought in, or is it just paiding someone else's pea pockets? Some people are claiming Tiffany is using her position to benefit herself more than the town. They are looking at all these personal expenses charged to township credit cards and wondering if Tiffany has her priorities straight. Is she really looking out for Dalton, or is she just looking out for herself as number one now? Not to confuse you, it sounds great to bring in $15 million for your town, but what good is it if that money isn't really benefiting the people it's meant to be? While Tiffany is living big, assuring everyone she is doing a fantastic job, Dalton is still struggling, payments are still not paid, and the gap is widening. Therefore, do let us know where the $15 million for your town sounds wonderful, yet if that money is not really benefiting the intended recipients, then what good is it? While Tiffany is living high and assuring everyone she's doing a fantastic job, Dalton is still struggling, bills are still not paid, and the deficit is widening. So do let us know where the $15 million is headed. Dalton's couches are not seeing it, in my opinion. Is it disappearing on the way, even getting to the town? Why is it not changing? Here in Dalton, something is obviously fishy. The FBI is tracking the scent to investigate all these financial concerns. Pup and Tiffany have much more explaining to do. While Tiffany is playing a different game while these officials are sorting through a lot of receipts, she might be claiming innocent and screaming that there is a setup, but the numbers do not lie right now. Those figures are telling a different tale than the one Tiffany is attempting to sell. She's serving looks, delivering pop culture references, and cracking jokes like she would be doing for SNL. Though I'm sure they have a slide coming for her. Is Tiffany really connecting with her folks, or simply using a smokescreen? She's not only sitting back and letting the rumors fly, she's out here connecting with the young people and doing it in a way that's got everyone talking. But no, it's not just posting selfies and creating hashtags. Tiff has some tricks up her sleeve for winning over the public. Tiffany's also has an answer for this. Some people are purchasing her as she views all of this criticism as a smear campaign. There's a whole bunch of people in Dalton who are still riding hard for Tiffany. They're showing up to meetings and defending her on social media, the whole 9 yards. I guess those billboards built her a cold following because she's got her own little fan club going, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows for every person cheering for Tiffany. There's another one calling her to step down. The town splits right down the middle, though it's definitely become Team Tiffany and Team FBI. So what's Tiffany doing about all this drama? Well, she's doubling down. She's out here talking about transparency and accountability, saying she wants to rebuild trust, but at the same time, she's not backing down from her flashy lifestyle and calling out the bluff of the people. But let's be real, all this drama is making Tiffany more famous than ever. Every time she posts something on social media, it blows up. People are talking about her all over town. It's like she's finally become the local celebrity, and not everybody is mad about it. Tiffany has been putting on quite a show, but the true drama is only beginning to emerge with the FBI delving deeply and lawsuits mounting. What's next for Dalton's most discussed mayor right now? Your daughter is about to experience some extreme heat. Tiffany's got more problems than a math book. We've got the FBI and her finances, ex-employees, SP&T, a whole bunch of folks in Dalton wondering what the heck is going on, and if there's going to be some consequences. So with these lawsuits, 3 former employees are coming at Tiffany with some serious allegations. They're saying that she fired them for not playing ball with her shady dealings. We're talking about punishing business owners who didn't support her and trying to keep public records under wraps. That's some heavy stuff, why all? But let's talk about the FBI. They're not just poking around anymore. They're going on full detective mode, talking to all these business owners and ex-employees. They're looking into every penny Tiffany spent. While Tiffany's still insisting that she's innocent, she's claiming this whole thing is just a big setup. But is the evidence piling up and up? And is anyone buying what she's selling? Well, the million-dollar question is what's next for Tiffany if these lawsuits go through and the FBI finds something fishy. Your girl could be in some serious trouble. We're talking about losing her job, facing fines, or even worse. But don't count Tiffany out just yet. She's proven she knows how to work the crowd. Remember all those social media stunts and costume parties at board meetings? She might just have a few more tricks up her sleeve. But one thing's for sure, though, the drama's far from over, with the FBI still digging and more people coming forward with stories. We might be in for some big revelations. Who knows what kind of tea is going to get spilled next? And some folks are saying that Tiffany's days are numbered and they're betting she won't make it to the next election, but others, they're still ride or die for Tiffany. They're saying she's brought more attention to Dalton than anybody else ever has. Well, this story is definitely far from over. We don't know what kind of bombshells are going to come through next. She might think she's in the clear of these little board meetings, but from where we're sitting, looks like the storm is just getting started. So, is Tiffany really the victim of a setup, like she claims, or is it more to the story that meets the eye? The FBI is still researching. Who knows what they will uncover next? Tiffany is out here in meantime. Living large on public funds seems natural, but is it what a mirror is all about? Well, why all know the fans have been all over it, and it doesn't seem like Tiffany's innocent plea is being bought, since they believe in the common saying that all races and all sexes prosecute and lock down thieves until politicians start rotting in federal prison for a theft of tax money. How does this complete peace of mind escape incarceration? She should at least be suspected by now and be messing with our taxpayer funds. She should be taken from office, prosecuted with theft. But I found out what you believe to be Tiffany Henyard's innocence or guilt. After dropping your comments below, have a look at this next video.